Namaskar friends, this is NJ, your host on this channel. In this video, we will have our discussion on understanding your Mahadasha or active Mahadasha from a new perspective. Like whatsoever your operational Mahadasha is demanding out of you. Are you thinking in those lines? Are you acting on those lines? So that is something which we will try to understand in this video. Now guys, just because Jupiter right now is transiting in my 12th house, and it was the time of the full moon only at the time when I'm uploading this video. So a couple of days back I even saw one beluga whale in my dream. So it's like these days you have to be very consciously aware, because Jupiter can instill you with some new ideas, and this video could be a result of that only. So yeah guys, talking about this, so from where I got the idea to make a video on this topic. So just because it's like my consultation experience, because a lot many times when people book a consultation with me and they are specifically emphasizing on like, please recommend me some gemstone, or please recommend me a remedy which can help me get rid of the vibration of this planet whose dasha is currently tormenting me, and all those people who even follow Lal Kitab, which all items can I bury to completely get rid of this planetary vibration. So thank God these people do not have any control over our solar system, otherwise we would have been left with only Earth and Sun. So yeah guys, so talking about the kind of foundation which I am building for this topic, so that is when we talk about in which all scenarios we have to do remedy for a planet. So now that's very simple. This is a kind of a principle which I learned from Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan back in India when I was going through my astrology course, that if a planet is malefic and it is very strong, so you have to do a remedy, and you have to also do a remedy when a benefic planet which is currently operational in your life and that planet is weak. So you got my point. We have to do a remedy only to weaken a strong malefic planet or give more power to a benefic weak planet. So same way guys, there are different ways of dealing with your active Mahadasha planet, because it all comes down to that when we talk about planet represents energy. Now basis the zodiac sign in which a planet is placed, or if you narrow it down to the nakshatra, that will just tell about that in which style or how the planet will manifest results. So planet can be seen as what? Zodiac sign, when it gets involved, it tells about how. And after that, the most important aspect on which we will have our this discussion is where. So in whichever house your Mahadasha planet is, this is the area where you will get the results. Now guys, when we talk about like any of the interpretation of your dasha results, like, because obviously whatsoever is happening in your life right now or whatsoever you are aspiring for, if your Mahadasha Lord is not promising that, it might be very difficult for you to attain that. So because of which, all of your aspirations, all of your efforts has to be aligned in the direction where your Mahadasha Lord is currently placed in your chart. Now that is the only reason guys, when we talk about these kind of different remedies as well, like for example, when we talk about wearing a gemstone, why we wear a gemstone? We wear a gemstone to increase the energy of that planet. So like in my case, I'm going through the Mahadasha of the planet Saturn. Now my profession, my alignment, everything is positive, favorable. The only concern is that Saturn is a slow moving planet, things are getting delayed. So that is the only reason why I'm wearing this Saturnian gemstone. Now why we do donation of the planets? We do the donation of the planets, specifically the malefic planets, because if that planetary vibration is troubling you, tormenting you, and you want to just diminish the vibration of that planet, so then you opt for doing the donation of that specific planet. And in certain cases, all those people who follow the Lal Kitab remedies, which is very effective. So over there, people, all the Lal Kitab practitioners, they recommend to bury the items represented by that planet to completely get rid of that planetary vibration in your life. But guys, try to understand this thing. All what is required is just change in attitude and embracing the vibration of that planet, of your Mahadasha Lord. I mean to say that how you can align your life as per the functioning of that planet. So if you will talk to an astrophysicist, he will tell you about that how perfect our planet is, its tilt, its atmosphere for life to survive or to exist on our planet, on Earth. Same way, if you will talk to a doctor, he will tell you about the mechanics of our human body, that how God or nature has provided us everything to be in a perfect manner for us to function. Same way guys, like if you believe in the concept of energy, in the concept of divinity, so that means whatsoever divinity has given to you, obviously as per the complete encapsulation of your own karma, so basis that you have received this planetary alignment in your chart in this lifetime, basis that only, and completely doing justice to a perfect divine plan for your life, certain dashas are currently operational in your life. So rather than denying it or getting rid of it, all what is required is repositioning your thought process, your actions as per the alignment of where your Mahadasha Lord is currently placed in your chart. So now guys, we will shift to the second section of our today's discussion, and now we will try to understand that basis your Mahadasha Lord's placement in different houses, are you actually giving attention to these areas or not, or are these areas right now unexplored by you? Now guys, obviously I do not know, because a lot will be dependent on the nature of the Mahadasha Lord, what role does that planet play, basis your ascendant, basis your moon sign, its dignity. But all what I am concerned right now is about channelizing your priorities, your energies equivalent to where that planet is placed, your Mahadasha Lord is placed in your chart, because this is where results are coming in your life. So guys, let's say for example, your current Mahadasha Lord is placed in the first house. So the points which I have made over here is that it will demand involvement of self. Life will hold you accountable. So guys, a lot many times what happen is that whether you are in business or whether you are in a job or you are a housewife, but whenever a Mahadasha Lord which is sitting in your first house is active, all what is required is your complete life's focus in the matters of that area where you are currently focusing. Because guys, whatsoever happens from the first house, somehow our life holds us accountable for that. Like this is the distinctive aspect of the first house and the 10th house. 10th house tells about our actions, our karma, and first house just encapsulates all areas of our life. That is the only reason whatsoever gifts or good things happens out of the first house, it uplifts the overall attribute. So because of which, if your Mahadasha Lord is currently sitting in your first house and it is active right now, and whatsoever you do that very half-hearted way, or you shy away from taking responsibility or accountability, then in those cases things might not work out the way it has to. And guys, a lot many times it has been also seen that if your Mahadasha Lord is sitting in your first house, so giving attention to your health becomes very important, because only if you are healthy, you will be able to put forth your best efforts. So that is the only reason guys, if you follow the Lal Kitab dictums, over there it has been mentioned that if Rahu is placed in the first house, no matter where Sun is placed in the chart, Sun gets eclipsed, or Sun starts giving bad results in that house. So I do not want to make you confused. All what I want to say to all those people in whose case their Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the first house, so learn to become more responsible, accountable, give attention to your health, and yes, your complete involvement in any of the area where you are engaged right now is very much required. Now guys, if your Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the second house, so what does it demand out of us? So the points, the cheat notes which I have made are, first of all, never go against your family. or your values. Go back to your roots. Your diet plays an important role in shaping your thoughts. So guys, see, you have to understand this thing. Like once we will keep moving forward to different houses, you will get to know that sometimes what happen is that I still remember, like, my ascendant lord is strengthened in the 8th house, and a lot many times during my teenage years, whenever like I'm just giving hard time to my parents because of my rebellious nature. So whenever my parents will take my Janapatri, my chart, my Kundli to any astrologer, the first thing which majority of the astrologer used to say, just looking at my chart, is that his fortune will awaken only after moving away from the birthplace. So, and because my 8th house is right now active as well, we will come to that part, but this is what is required. Rather than getting rid of the energy or trying to challenge that energy or burying that energy, important is that aligning your and repositioning your thought process, your actions as per the functioning of that house where your Mahadasha Lord is sitting. So definitely guys, let's say for example, in your case, you have been living away from your birthplace and you were experimenting with different things, but it has been long since you are not reaping the good results for all of your efforts. So might be going back to your roots, staying close to your family or being close to your native place might be a very wise decision during this time, or this could be the only way via which you can please your currently active Mahadasha Lord as well. So these are some of the guidelines which can be given to someone in whose case the Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the 2nd house. Now let's go to the 3rd house. So the cheat notes which I have made over here is that new initiatives, friends, and change of place. So guys, let's say for example, if you are in that line of work where you just remain you have to just be positioned or placed at one place only, and let's say for example your Mahadasha changed and now your Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the 3rd house. So it might ask you to travel related to work, or invest in those business venture, or get into those job where there's lot of travels involved, lot of meeting with new people is involved. So that is very much getting important in your case, because your Mahadasha Lord is demanding energy out of the signification of the 3rd house, which has everything to do with travels, which has to do with making some new connections. Second thing is that guys, definitely if you are a kind of person, you are in business but you are always you always shy away from taking new initiatives, or in all of your efforts that degree and sense of confidence lack. So that could be a reason that your current Mahadasha Lord is not giving you good results from the 3rd house. So that degree and sense of confidence is something which you badly need if you actually want to get the best out of your current active Mahadasha. Another point is that guys, which I mentioned over here, is that you have to also remain very much aligned with your comrades, with your colleagues, or with your friends, because their support might play a very pivotal role in giving good degree and amount of fuel to the fire of your Mahadasha Lord, which is sitting in the 3rd house. And also guys, social media, a lot many times it has been seen that, let's say for example, you are just operating in a very traditional way, although I'm very much sure in today's day and age every business is listed on the social media, but still if you are operating your business in a very traditional setup and you have not embraced or opted for the latest tech standards in your business, in your skill, in your nature of work, so that could be a reason why your Mahadasha Lord is not happy or it's not giving you good results. And also guys, a lot many times it has been seen that even change of residence or change of place, when your Mahadasha Lord, like your Mahadasha changes and that planet is sitting in the 3rd house, that also tend to remain very triggering factor or act as a catalyst for giving some good results. After that guys, let's say for example, your Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the 4th house. So my cheat notes says over here that involve your family in every decision, respectful towards your mother, and somehow any connection with your roots, with your native place can also play a very pivotal role. So like the way I already mentioned this thing, that let's say for example you have moved to a different place for exploring some new avenues, and lately results have not been good and your dasha changed, and now the current active dasha lord is sitting in the fourth house. So that might be an indication that you might have to go back to your native place, reconnect with your roots, or remaining very much respectful towards your mother might be the demand which your currently active Mahadasha Lord is asking out of you. So yes guys, these are some of the steps which you have to remain very attuned towards. And I have generally seen that people in whose case like any of the Dasha Lord which is placed in the fourth house, and if they are in anything to do with the consulting business or any of the luxury business or real estate, these people generally do very good. But important is that do something which gives that degree and sense of satisfaction to you, and do not be in that environment where your heart and soul is not involved over there. Now guys, if your Mahadasha Lord is sitting in the fifth house, so guys in this scenario, what we generally say that specifically this is an alignment where a devotion becomes very important, because here it's not only about your own mental thought process, but somehow your past life merits also play a very pivotal role in giving you some good results. And nothing could be better than that if you have like planet like Saturn being active in your fifth house, or Ketu being active in your fifth house, or in certain cases even a moon being active in the fifth house. Then I would say that meditation becomes very important, because only if you will be in that calm state of mind, you will remain very much receptive towards some new ideas. Children can play a very important role, key role, and a devotion, bhakti, complete surrender to your mentors, to your guides, or a complete degree and sense of focus towards your craft becomes very important whenever your Dasha Lord, which is sitting in the fifth house, gets active. After that guys, when we talk about Dasha Lord sitting in the sixth house, so guys in this case we generally say that whatsoever you have to receive, you have to show that fighting spirit. Unless and until you will not work in that competitive mindset, you will not get the best out of this currently active Dasha. A lot many times people say that Rahu, if placed in the sixth house, or Saturn being placed in the sixth house, or even Mars being in the sixth house, it manifests good results. But guys, again, it all comes down to, because the innate nature of these planets is very malefic, and malefic planets just thrive and flourish more when they are put forth in a competitive situation. So that degree and sense of competitiveness is required in your line of work. And guys, a lot many times it has been seen that any of the serviceful attitude generally give good results if your Mahadasha Lord is active in the sixth house. And along with that, let's say for example, if you have that degree and sense of flexibility of any involvement of your maternal relatives, this could be your maternal uncle, your maternal aunts, or even the, in a way, cousins from the maternal side. So even their involvement during this time when your Dasha Lord is active in the sixth house will prove to be very favorable. After that guys, when we talk about Dasha Lord being placed in the seventh house and active, so we generally say this thing that it becomes very important in this time that you have to project yourself to others' opinions and views rather than going your way. See, if your Dasha Lord which is placed in the first house, you can keep on working as per your liking, as per your taste. But whenever a planet which is active being sitting in the seventh house, other people's opinion, other people's views become very important. And generally we say this thing that if it is possible that any of the investments in your name is not giving you some good returns, so try buying shares, stocks, or doing investments in the name of your partner. That could be the attitude or approach which your Mahadasha Lord being active in your seventh house might be asking out of you. And also guys, one more thing, like I have read in lot many like books that they say that if you have a karmic planet like specifically not Rahu, Saturn and Ketu being placed in the 7th house never break a promise. Like I would say, rather than saying this thing that I will do it for you, or no matter what happens, I will do it for you, just say I will try. Because if you make a promise to someone with a karmic planet active in the 7th house and you do not fulfill that promise, so planets can backfire. So this is one area where you have to remain very cautious. After that, guys, if your Mahadasha Lord is currently active in your 8th house, so over here, see, there are a couple of things which you have to be very consciously aware of. First of all, is your actions are monotonous? Have you fallen in rut, or are you being in this pursuit of transforming your life? Every single day you are working hard to bring a transformation in your current prevalent circumstances, no matter how good they are, but they can be better as well. Second thing is that remaining secretive. So I still remember, see, my Mahadasha Lord is also active in the 8th house. So a lot many times I used to do this thing that every time there's some idea which has come to my mind, I will straight away start revealing it to everyone. And later on, if things are not working out, then there's a good friend of mine, he said this thing that henceforth we do not want to listen to your plans, we want to listen only to the news that now things have happened. And there lie the secret of decoding or getting the best out of the dasha of a planet which is placed in the 8th house. Never reveal your secrets, never reveal your plans, because whenever 8th house is active, somehow the cosmic vibration, astral entities are very much interfering over there. So a lot many times people call it a evil eye or whatever name you give it, but generally it has been said that whatsoever your plans are, your preparations are, your vision is, unless and until it has not executed to the final stage, do not reveal it to the people. And along with that, guys, any of the overseas like interest, like let's say for example you are struggling in your home country in the dasha of a planet which is placed in the 8th house, so might be moving to a new country, to a new place, shifting to a new place in a nearby city is more of the 3rd house or the 9th house energy. 8th house primarily is shifting your base to a entirely foreign country. So that is something which you can consider, or that could be something which your Mahadasha Lord being active in the 8th house might be demanding out of you. After that, guys, if your Mahadasha Lord is active in the 9th house, so that's very simple. In this case, guys, see, you have to demonstrate strong faith in all of your actions. Relations with father becomes very important when your planet is active in its dasha in your 9th house. After that, guys, always seek advice and guidance from experienced people. Like if you actually want to do honor to the dasha lord being active in the 9th house, never ever be in that mode of acting out of rashness. Do not paying any heed to the repercussion or outcome of your actions. After that, guys, when we talk about 10th house, so for 10th house I do not have much points to write over here. All what I wrote was being very dutiful and being very aware of your actions. I already mentioned this thing that the outcome which we generally get whenever a planet is active in the 1st house or 10th house always has an impact in our overall life. So we always say this thing that it's like we all get the circumstances and situation, but the choices which we make determines our fate or determines our ultimate outcome of our karma. So because of which, whenever a planet is active in your 10th house, you do not have to shy away from accountability, from responsibility. You have to remain very dutiful and very much consciously aware of your actions. Trust me, planet will start giving you good results. And obviously you have to stay in good terms with your bosses, because I already mentioned this thing. Planet represents what? Zodiac sign represents how and where. Ultimately, it's where. It's in the 10th house. So that means your bosses, authority figure have got a strong grip in giving you the final outcome. After that, guys, if a planet gets active in its dasha in your 11th house. So we generally say that, rather than doing things by your own, try to be a part of the collective. That is very much required. Your goals, your hopes, your aspirations have to be very high. I always say this thing: planet is active in the most auspicious, wish fulfilling house. Like, obviously guys, 11th house is not that auspicious. It is because it is 6th from the 6th house, and for certain lagnas it becomes a obstruction causing house as well. But at the end of the day, this is the house of granting our wish. And specifically, if your wishes are very much materially oriented, so I would say that this house can play a very important role. So definitely guys, rather than becoming a lone wolf in the dasha of a planet which is sitting in the 11th house, it's not about planet has got the rulership of the 11th house and it might be sitting in the some other house. Here I'm talking about a planet whose dasha is active. It is placed in the 11th house. All what is required is being very much honest and kind of very dignified in any of your behavior in a social setting. Very much respectful, very much honest with your friends, within your friend circle, and trying to be a part of the collective is very much required if you want to get the best result out of your Mahadasha Lord sitting in the 11th house. Now guys, if your Mahadasha Lord is placed in the 12th house, so there are certain things which you have to remain very cautiously aware, which all activities are kind of draining you of your energies in a whole day. Are these your family responsibilities? Are these your hobbies? Are these some wasteful things like addictions and your involvement with the intoxicants? So all of that will become very important. More than the gains, you have to be very cautiously aware that what exactly in a whole day is draining you of your energy. Is this the influence of a toxic person? So you have to be very aware of that. Second thing is that guys, beyond doubt, this is a time when if things are not working out in your homeland and you have this provision of moving or operating from a foreign land, from a foreign country, so you have to strictly consider doing that. Along with that guys, charities play a very important role. And lastly, I would say whenever a planet gets active in the 12th house, it actually demands a lot of surrender. Like whatsoever is happening, you need to have that faith in the higher powers that there must be something good in store for you. So that sort of faith and surrender to the divine will is required if you actually want to get the best out of your Mahadasha Lord, which is currently active in your 12th house. So this is something guys which I wanted to say as a part of my inputs. For further more updates and notifications on the divine science of Vedic astrology, please subscribe to my YouTube channel and like my Facebook page. Dhanyavad.